afternoon and good evening to everyone who's watching. This is Shanae Bourne, Alejandro Bratti, and CJ Kuzler from the Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your Business. And welcome to the Spanglish World Network on Singo TV channel 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Singo TV app on your respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. And while you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment, and the app is free. Singo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire Sticks, Roku and Roku Sticks, also on all smart TV devices since 2016 and forward. Welcome, everyone. Alejandro, you can take us in.
Yeah, thank you, Shanae. I told you that it's good. It's better when you present everything.
I bring the fire.
You bring the fire, even when you are tired. That's amazing. So we are really happy to have today a special friend and guest, Steve. Thank you for connecting with us today. This show it's about your life. It's about how we can improve the lives of the people that we are going to be working with, and we also have a special announcement to say to everyone. The four of us, we are going to be presenting a challenge next week. It's going to be a business challenge to be helping you to improve your lead generation, to improve your closing sales, understanding what is in your mindset, and understanding what is in your messaging, how to improve that. So I believe we are going to have a mix between a conversation of what we are doing between us and what is the life of Steve, how he has been becoming the sales innovator, and he has been creating new ways of selling without selling your soul. That's something that I really love. And also talking about the things that we're going to be sharing next week, and we really highly recommend you to join us if you are looking for improving that lead generation, to improving that messaging that you have, understanding your customer, and knowing how to really close them and start to make all the money that you are really wanting. So thank you, Steve, for joining us today. This is amazing to have you here with us.
Look, I'm going to start off firstly by thanking you guys for having me on. I'm really excited to be here. But Shanae, you said good afternoon, good evening, but you forgot good morning. It's 5 a.m. in beautiful downtown Sydney in Australia.
Good morning, Steve.
We're going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everywhere you are now that we've got the four of us on.
Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. I hope that the sun is shining and it's a bright day.
Yeah, we're pretty lazy here. We just say g'day, and that'll cover everything.
G'day, mate.
G'day, man. G'day. No, it's great to be here, guys.
So, Steve, let's start with your story. From where are you coming? Starting with before you started to believe in yourself, in a moment that you can say like, okay, this is who I was, and how that was that process when you started to believe in yourself. I know that we're going to be entering later in the conversation about how you become a sales innovator and what are the things that you are doing there. But first, starting with yourself, like you as a person, what did you do? Who you were before you started to believe in yourself?
Great question. And the big thing, it all started before I actually got in business. I was a kid born with pretty bent legs, just bordering on deformity. My nickname as a kid growing up in my family was Bumblefoot because I kept tripping over my own feet. But I loved sport. I loved doing everything. And I'd gone right through to the last year of high school. I'd never won the school sport. I never represented the school. I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I really want to end on a high note. I actually want to win the school sport. I reckon I can do it. So he said, fine. So we got a coach and just turned everything around. I didn't tell any of my mates, and I just gradually got better until I got to the school sports, and I won the events and won the championship. And then, my coach said, well, you got to go to the regionals and you got to go further. So we kept training, and I got to the regionals. I did really well there and got to the state. And got to the finals there, and he said, look, you're doing really well. Why don't you stick at it? I said, I'm really enjoying it. And it just kept going and going. And then my goal was to beat some of the senior athletes in our training squad, and I got through there. And then the next goal was to win one of the professional races, and I got through there, and it kept going and going. And I said, I can get to the next level. And within 2 years, I was the youngest ever national professional track champion, from a kid wanting to win a race at school, just to set a goal and believe that I could go to the next bit, and then to the next bit, and then to the next bit. And then I was training for the Olympics quite a few years ago, and I crushed 3 discs in my back through the training and accidents, etc., all things going on. And through rehab, I actually fell in love with the fitness industry. And as I was looking at it, I thought, I think I could do it differently, and I think I could do it better. I was a pretty brash, cocky young kid back then. So I set about changing the world in the fitness industry. And again, believing that I could do it differently and do it better in my own certain way. And I actually did, because I then got to speak around the world, and I franchised a kids club into 5 countries and a weight loss program into 2, and doing all the different things. And as I was looking back, I thought, okay, this is how I can do things across many platforms. And those things carried me right through to today, to be able to, the principles is basically find something that you love doing, find something that you're good at, do it differently, and own that space. Find out what area that you could actually be the person in, not just a person in. And then just stand up and say, yes, this is us, and attract the right people to you. And again, it all comes in the belief. And a lot of people, they talk about, well, I talk about being the authority in your particular area. And one thing that really will help the listeners at home and the viewers is, you don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to be the best in their world. So as long as you are the right person and the leader and the authority in the particular area that is servicing your people. Now, the other thing that people get confused with is expert and authority. A lot of people say you've got to have 10,000 hours of experience, etc., to be an expert. That's okay, you do. The 2 definitions that I live by and I teach is, an expert knows something. An authority is known for something. And it's a matter of looking inside and the working with the people that you work with. What is it that you're known for? What is the one thing, the 2 things that you're known for, the way that you deliver your service, your background, all of those sorts of things. And you are all an authority on your own life. You are all an authority on the way that you do things your way. It's a matter of uncovering it, package it, and communicate it. And then that way, it's not the fake. It's not the imposter syndrome. You can't be an imposter of your own life. So it's a matter of celebrate that and then stand up and own it. And that's the thing that most people don't do. They don't stand up and own that thing. In fact, that was the title of my first bestseller: Stand Up, Stand Out, or Stand Aside. And I'll digress that little bit in my own Aussie way. I really did want to call that book Be Different or Bugger Off. But let's bring it back the other way. And that's the journey, is always look for unique ways that you can help and serve your people, and then have the fortitude, the gumption, or whatever other term we want to use, to own that space, own the way that you do things. And as we get into the sales side of things, I'll tell you the journey, how to get to that. But that's really the first steps in believing in yourself. I could believe that I could win one race, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. So just believe that you can get to that next bit, and you'll see amazing differences.
Okay, and Steve, I like that part that you are saying, starting with a little belief in one little thing. So when you start to talk about that, even with your dad, when you were saying, I want to be in a race and I want to do this, how was that process to, I believe that I can do something even when I haven't done it the last 18 years or something like that. How was that process to starting to believe in you, and how that moved to starting to do that in your business? If you can do both relations.
Excuse me. It's a little early here, so I'm a little bit croaky. I end up pulling it all apart and wrote a book, Exceed, How to Exceed Your Own Personal and Professional Expectations. And the first thing is the belief. And yes, I could do it. And so I believe goal setting is upside down. Goal setting, people say, set a big, lofty goal, set a goal that you strive for, you reach for. It's all sounding like that you aim for it, but that's okay. You're probably not going to get there. Whereas, there is an aspiration. I'll call it an aspiration. Yeah, I want to do that. But I talk about momentum goals. And that's one of the things. Set a momentum goal, a goal that you know that is a stretch, but a goal that you believe that you could make. And then set out, what is the 0.5% that I could do each day? What is a little bit more? Set the plan, get the team around, but then what is the 0.5% that I could do more than what's in the plan? What is the 0.5% here and 0.5% there? And then what happens is you get the momentum goal, and you smash that goal. Whether you do it earlier or bigger, you've got that momentum. I call that the slingshot effect. And then you just slingshot on to the next goal and to the next goal. So instead of reaching for the top, climbing the mountain where it gets narrower and it gets steeper, you want it to get broader and flatter so you can have more people with you. Instead of climbing to the top, I say, hey, start here and start the snowball and start it rolling down the hill. And as it gets going down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger. And that's the team. And it's the velocity around it. And then when there are obstacles, you've got the team and the momentum with you to smash through those goals. And when you hit the bottom, you've got the momentum to go halfway up the top to the next one. And Professor Ian H. Robertson wrote in his book, The Winner's Effect, and I call it the winning effect. When an animal, an animal or a fish has a win, which is typically a kill, it has a surge of testosterone and dopamine. And that adds psychological and physical strength to go on to a bigger kill. Now, you've probably seen athletes out there that are just getting the seconds and the thirds or nearly winning the majors. And then they have one win. And then all of a sudden, they just keep winning, and then they keep winning. So by creating your own personal wins and choreographing those wins in teams, in occupations, in your organizations, when you create the win within your team and within yourself, you have that surge of testosterone and dopamine ready to get on and surge to go to the next one. And what happens when you continually set your momentum goals? You will get to the bigger goal quicker, faster, and stronger than if you had just set that one goal. Because when something happens and you fall behind in traditional goal setting, then you get behind, you get despondent, you already think, well, I probably wasn't going to get there anyway. The 100% effort drops to 90, 80, 70. But if you're continually having that win, that 100% goes to 105. Because we all know that there is a 0.5% or 1% somewhere in your day.
Yeah.
And you set a goal. What is my 0.5% today? What is that one extra phone call that I was going to make? That one extra email, that one extra that I was going to do, that creates that additional momentum to create that slingshot effect. And that's basically what it was. Just chew off the next one and believe you can get to the next one and create that winning effect.
That's really interesting, Steve. I'm curious because you talk about, how you went from, not walking straight to running and being a champion. level to level to level. And so you're having that snowball effect. I'm curious because life is multifaceted, right? And you could be dealing with, okay, how do I move ahead in my business? How do I move ahead in my fitness? How do I move ahead in my relationships and my finances? There's all these different areas, right? That you can get 1% better every day in. You can practice Kaizen, which is Japanese principle of continuous improvement. You can do that bit by bit each day. But I'm curious how you would approach, because there are all these potential things to grow in. And if you're really hyper self-aware, you know, there's room to grow in more than one area, right? So how would you, I mean, obviously by the sound of it, you focused on one goal at a time. But I'm wondering if how you would now, if you would splay that into 1% per category per day, or if you would say that perhaps there's overwhelm there, and you just really focus on one thing for a set period of time so that it's disproportionately receiving attention. How would you approach that?
Great question, CJ. And the answer is you always, the saying is, isn't it, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Yeah, but you've also got your meat, your veggies, and whatever else on the plate. So you are always going to have lots of things that you could get your teeth into. Let's extend that metaphor. And there are going to be one of my great mentors, and I knew that he got it from somebody else, is the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. What is the biggest thing that we could do right now to move the needle? And what is the biggest thing that I can make the biggest impact in my life, my business, as we go forward? And it might be for somebody, yes, I'm going to be doing the lead generation. We're going to be doing that, and we're going to be doing this. But as you're going through, we all know that as an entrepreneur, we're wearing multiple hats. And it would be, okay, what is the plan for the day? There's the plan for the day. Right. Okay. Can I squeeze in a 0.5% here and a 0.5% there? Will that make a big difference to my overall? Yes, it will. Great. What's the plan for tomorrow? Okay. The plan for tomorrow, there might be an opportunity here to do something somewhere else in your business and somewhere else. And then you do that. When you keep adding up those 0.5%, the overall momentum continues to grow and grow and grow. And you'll see lots of different things improving in your business and also in your personal life, because you get that really great sense of fulfillment. You get that winning feeling. There's nothing better than finishing the day, having a look and say, yeah, I finished the day with a win. Now, there are going to be days when there are not, there are some losses. There might be a client that drops out or something that didn't come off. But if you balance that out with the wins and look at it and say, well, okay, that happened, but we're still on track. And if you keep ahead of the curve, and that's the thing, it's like we're planning to run a marathon and you keep doing that little 0.5%, then 0.5%, then 0.5%, and then you're several weeks ahead of schedule. And then the rain comes, like we just had here in Sydney, floods, and you can't run for a week. That's okay, because we're still ahead of schedule. You don't throw the towel in and say, oh, woe is me, I'm never going to do it. When you get ahead of the curve in business and in life, you've got that buffer and you've got the mindset that you can get back in, you're ahead of schedule, and you know how to get ahead of schedule again.
That's really great. So was it primarily through sports, Steve, that you found that momentum and then began to apply it to other areas for yourself?
Yeah, I didn't actually realize what I was doing, and I really didn't realize that that's the sort of person I was until I sat down to write the book. And then I packaged it all up, and I said, there are 6 principles that I've actually been living by all the way through. And then I crystallized them. But I was actually always innovative, always looking for opportunities. In the middle of high school, my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend was a surfer. He showed me how to make my own surfboard. A few of the mates at school, of course, we didn't live near the coast and we didn't have a surf shop in town, said, "Oh, how'd you do that?" And I said, "Well, come here and I'll show you." So we made a few boards together and there was a few others around. And I thought, there's a business here. So at 15, we started making boards. Then I realized I really didn't like doing the shaping or the spraying or that. So I basically did the selling and the managing, and my two mates did the shaping, and we had a business. So it was always, where is an opportunity to leverage and grow? And that's where I got into the fitness industry. But I ended up having programs for kids. I had programs for seniors. I had weight loss, decondition, rehabilitation, all of the areas that wasn't trendy or glitzy. It wasn't the bodybuilding, body beautiful. Yeah, it was. I said, well, okay, you're fighting over 7% of the population. What if I went for the other 80?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. And then that's how we grew. And I was in a small country town in the middle of the Hunter Valley, beautiful wine country, if you want. And I went to the outside world and went to some of the fitness conferences, and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing this, this, and this." And they said, "Wow, can you teach us?" And I said, "Doesn't everybody do that?" I just did it to survive because, I had these multi niches. I said, "No one's doing it." And I thought, "You're beauty." So then I packaged my knowledge and then started selling it. And that was the big thing for me is, well, okay, instead of just looking after my own business, what is it that I do differently that I could help other people with, and how could I take it out there? So that's when I started taking it out, end up speaking in, on an average of 8 to 10 countries a year, and trained over 60,000 business owners.
Wow, that is a lot. That's a lot of business owners. And how would you say that? I know that sports is deeply connected to, keeping on in entrepreneurship. How did you find that sports, when you look back, how did you find your sports helped you in your entrepreneurial journey, just to have that consistency and persistence?
Yeah. Pardon the language, but I'll always say it. I'm a competitive bastard.
Yeah.
And the little saying that I've got here, every day I go to work, I compete.
Yeah.
But it's not about it and not against anyone else.
Yes.
It's always with me. What can I do today to be the best that I could be? Now, many years on from my sporting background, look, even if I go for a bike ride today, I'll have my Strava on, and the first thing that I do when I get off the bike is just check, how'd I go? It's like, it's there. And that's how we should be, is how can we be the best that we could be every day, and believe that we can be better. There is always something that we could do to be better in our business, and also believe that there is something inside that we could share with other people. And people just don't have the confidence. And the people that I work with, I work with hundreds, if not thousands of business owners every year on uncovering and creating their unique authority positioning. And then how do we package that? And then how do we sell that?
Yeah.
And as we're pulling it out, they look at themselves the way that they look at everybody else. And I talk about what's called the brown box syndrome. It's when you look and feel and sound the same as everybody else, then you're a brown box. But it's not until you unwrap the box that there could be gold inside. And it's a matter of unlocking what that gold is and then communicating what that is in their point of difference. So instead of being a trainer, a coach, a consultant, an advisor, a planner, all of these sorts of things, an A is like, what is your V? And then when we uncover, and it's not about who they are or what they do. That's the way that everybody else has been putting them in the box. people don't buy what you do or what you've done. It's what you deliver for them. And when
Yes.
you can communicate who you are and what you do in a way that they say, wow, I want that for me, then their uniqueness goes up and they actually get confidence. People really do want to buy my stuff now that they actually know what I'm going to do for them. People are ingrained into saying, this is what I do. I am a financial planner. I am an accountant. I am a personal trainer. Well, yeah, you are, but I don't care what that is. What are you going to do for me? And how do you communicate it in a way? And I talk about the coal and the diamonds. Your communication is either coal or diamonds or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Coal is, it's plentiful, it's ugly, but it gives off a bit of heat in the end. It has some value. Diamonds, when it's cut right, it's immediately attractive, perceived as high value, and virtually indestructible. But they're basically just carbon. They're basically the same. One's had a lot more heat and pressure put on.
Yes.
Yeah. And Shanae, you would know because you're the country of the diamonds. But yeah, a lot of people are communicating coal. What do you do? Oh, I'm a financial planner. So what do you do? Well, you know, I look at your numbers and plan. You know, whereas you turn it around, yeah, I'm a lifestyle protection, a lifestyle enhancement. I'm a retirement renovator. Wow, what do you do? Well, I look at this and I do this and you talk in pictures like I see what you do, not just hear.
Yes.
And that's the big thing.
Yeah, people really want to see that transformation. You know, people are so hesitant to buy certain things these days because they get told, you know, you're going to achieve this and you're going to be, you know, slim and slim and sexy. And, you know, they get the before and the after pictures of people, or they just get people of who has been fit and slim their whole life. And then when they try it out, they don't end up in the picture or as the picture, what they envision for themselves. And I totally agree with you that, you know, selling the transformation and delivering on that is huge for people because that really changes people's lives.
Yeah, there's a communication tool that I have in my business, and I've been coaching and using it for excuse me, over 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that. It's called the emotive sales pendulum. And I'll take you, and this will be great for the viewers. And we're talking about sales and where I'm fitting in with you guys with the sales, and the innovation that we do in our selling is picture the pendulum swinging down the bottom.
Yeah.
And it only swings a little bit either way. And up to one side, you've got the pain, and up to the other side, you've got the payoff. Most people, when they're communicating with your people, oh, you have a need, I can fix it. The pendulum is a little swing. And I call that the red zone of death. The pendulum doesn't swing very far. Yet when you're, and this is part of the process I teach, when you show empathy and help uncover what their real pain is, and we go through a process that if they're coming along to our challenge next week, I'll take you right through this whole process, is you start swinging the pendulum up. Say you've got a problem, you've got a need, you got something. How does that affect whatever it is? How does that affect your life? How does that affect your business? Oh, I've got a need, I need 10 more clients. So how is that affecting your business not having those 10 clients? Well, I'm not, you know, being able to put on the extra staff. I don't have the cash flow. I've got to do the extra work myself. So that's how's that affecting. So you're swinging the pendulum up that little bit. And then you keep the conversation going as to, then how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel having to work those extra hours? And, oh, gee, you don't get home to have dinner with your kids at night. Oh, and you're missing their soccer practice or their basketball match. And then you're swinging the pendulum up and they're articulating the real pain behind it, besides just the need. Then you let the pendulum go. And a lot of people will start in the middle and try and push the pendulum. It's like pushing other things uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let the pendulum go and say, well, what would it be? We have a system, we have a process, we have a blueprint to be able to get to those 10 extra clients. In fact, we're probably going to get more. How would it affect your business if we actually delivered 12, 15 more people? Well, I'd be able to do this. I'd be able to put more people on it, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that would have to make you feel fantastic knowing that you're going to have dinner with your kids, your family every night. You're never going to miss a soccer practice again. You're never going to be able to miss this again. That would be fantastic. And then they would be glowing. That is the swing.
Amazing.
Yeah, from one to the other. And the saying that we use, the bigger the swing, the bigger the payoff to them, which is what they're buying. The before and after bikini shots. Yeah, this is me. Look, fat, frumpy, feel terrible. Wow, that's what I want to look like. The bigger the swing, the bigger the payoff to them, but the bigger the payday to you. So when you can articulate the full swing of the pendulum in a conversation, they will say, for once, somebody gets me. Somebody understands the real issue, not just, oh, I need 10 clients. And that's a big swing.
Yeah, it's so true. So
Okay,
true.
and just quickly, just to say to everyone, I put here the QR code for our challenge next week. So if anybody that is listening and is like, yeah, I need that Steve is saying, because I really love that, to understand how that works in my business or how it works in everything that I'm doing. Or even like, I don't have any leads right now. I need to understand how to do that. Or I really don't know how to speak with my customers. I don't understand them. I don't understand what is the words that I have to be using. So all those things, or even I don't believe that I can grow bigger than I am right now. I know that something is stopping me and I don't know what to do. We are going to be working on those questions next week, and we are going to be working with you. It's not a challenge only to be like selling you some things. It's going to be something to be giving you a lot of value. And that's why we're here with Steve today. Like, okay, Steve, tell us a little bit more about the things that you need to understand. And what happens, my question right now for you, Steve, will be what happens when I don't like to sell? If I am a business owner that I love my business, I have a mission, I have something amazing here, but when I have to sell, it's like, no, I need to contract somebody else because I really don't like that, because I feel that I am doing things that I am not used to and I am not called to be doing those type of things. How I can start to learn to really do it without doing it.
Alejandro, I've never heard anybody say, I love doing what I do, but I just hate to sell. Wow. I've never heard that before. And to
There is
anybody
always
that,
a first time.
I think Steve is lying.
you're a legend, you're a groundbreaker. Look, for those who are actually thinking that, just take heart. It's not your fault. It's everybody that's been teaching you the way that they've been teaching you how to sell. Now, in your mind or physically, if you're watching this and nobody's watching you, put your hand up if you actually love helping and serving people. And I do this live, and when we used to get lots of face-to-face. Put your hand up if you really love selling yourself. And most people would actually sit on their hands because they just aren't doing it. And that's the big thing, is selling. They feel as if it's taking the money off somebody, because that's the way they're taught. We've got to do the pitch, the pressure, the close, overcome objections. And whereas when you come with us next week, I'm going to take you through a whole process, but I'm going to give you a lot of it right now. And the definition that I've lived by since the day I opened my health club doors, selling is professionally servicing other people's needs for a mutually beneficial gain. And that starts with professionally servicing their needs. Now, the first part of selling is communicating the value that who you are, what you do, in a way that they understand the value. And here's a quick concept right now. Box value versus agreed implementable value. Now, most people will talk about what they do, and they talk about the box. They talk about the hours that they're going to get working with you. They're going to get the services. And it might be if you're a web developer, it might be you're going to get X hours of this and you're going to get X hours of this. You get the API and the tech and the X. You're selling the box. But now what happens is they take that box down the road and say, well, can you give me a price on this box, please? Can you give me a price on this box?
Yeah.
So what the salespeople say, well, you got to put more in the box. Let's give them some more hours. Let's give them some more stuff. And then the box gets bigger, but you're still selling the box. You're still selling those services, what you're doing, but they don't know what that's going to do for them. When we have the conversation, and I'll show on the thing how we do it with a blueprint, and we collaborate. There's 3 levels of influence in selling. The bottom level is imposed influence, where I am telling you all the things that I'm going to do. I'm telling you all about the company, and I am telling you all about the benefits. The features, advantages, benefits, the benefits that you're going to get. So I am imposing all of this knowledge on you. It's the present and pitch. The next level is much more powerful. It's the collaborative level, the collaborative influence, when we're working together. So you've said you've got these 3 things wrong in your business, and we're talking about, we've got our blueprint, our system. If we did this and we worked together and created that solution, what would it mean to you and your business if this happened? And together you would quantify an outcome, emotive or financial. You would quantify, you write it down. And as you're going around the blueprint, having that discussion and conversation. So if we did this, if we worked together, you said this was wrong. Here's one of the things that we did. So we're not talking about the box. We're talking about what happens when we implement what's in the box. And we get to the end of it. And we talk about it. So, hey, CJ, by the looks of it, if we put this system into your business, now, if you're a coach and you're selling your coaching system, if we put this system, not, hey, I'm good, buy me. You're not selling yourself ever again. You're selling your system and how it works. If we put this system into your business, looks like we're going to be generating an extra, 20,000 per month, saving you X number of hours and whatever. And they'd have to agree because they've collaborated on it. And your price might just be 5,000 a month or something like that. Does it make sense we get started on this sooner rather than later? And because they've collaborated, the numbers are theirs and you've worked together on the outcome. The agreed implementable value is 20,000 per month. You are coming down in their mind. I've just given, in CJ's mind, I've just given him 20,000 a month if we work together. And then instead of coming up from 0 to 5, well, you're fighting over that, and I better discount, I better bring it down to 4, and I better bring some more in. The starting number in their head is 20. And if you're coming down to 5, you are personally giving. You're not taking money away. You're personally giving the 15. So selling, when you do it the right way, is actually coming from a place of giving, not taking. You are giving them the opportunity to change their business. You are giving them the opportunity to change their life. You are giving them the opportunity. If you wholeheartedly believe in what you do, and that's everybody on this call and coming next week to the challenge, if you wholeheartedly believe it is your right, your duty, your obligation to sell to those people, because if they don't, then you have let them down. When we opened the gym, I told all of my people, we've got programs for this level, this level, this level, all of these people. The people that walk through the door haven't just woken up and just said, oh, I put on 7 kilos or 14 pounds. I better go to the gym today. It's pain has got bad enough to finally do something about it. People that have contacted you, the pain somewhere on that pendulum has got bad enough that I've got to do something about it. It's up to you to uncover what it is that you can help them with and articulate it in a way that this is what you're going to get when we work together, not the box. And that's why people have been let down, and you've been taught to sell the box. not work together on the agreed implementable value. And that, when you turn that around, the mindset is like, I can do this.
Okay, let's think another way. What happens with all the no's that we receive during any presentation or when we are trying to work with people? I understand exactly what you are saying, and something that I was even putting today in the social media was exactly that. What happened when people say no? Uh, Sometimes the first time is a little bit challenging. The second one is to start to be like, this is unbearable. And the third one is like, this is unimaginable. I don't want to have a lot of no's in my life. And that's why I don't want to be selling, because people is telling me no, they are not buying even when they understand this little thing, this
Okay,
change.
I'll jump in there. And that is because I'm going to go back to the Jerry Maguire movie. You had me at hello. And when you come along next week, I will have more time to spend with you on going through what's called increasing the buying energy. Now, if you're one of those brown boxes that I was telling you about before, a consultant, coach, or whatever, there is no buying energy to talk to you at all. I could talk to you or you or you or you or you, and the buying energy is exactly the same. When you become the authority, yeah, I'm the sales innovator, because I'm not just a sales trainer. I gave myself the title, the sales innovator. No one's taken it off me yet, which is cool. And nobody said, you're a fake, you're a fraud, you're an idiot, because what I do is innovative. It's my way. It's slightly different, and it has to be slightly different. So the energy goes up to start talking to you to start with. Then what a lot of people do is just dump a heap of information before they get to a call. Here is more information about us. We talk about cultivate the relationship and increase the buying energy. There'll be some videos, and they get to have a taste of you. Now, in that cultivation, you water, you fertilize, and you prune. Now, you want people to drop out, and you want them to drop out before you talk to them. So people that get into to talk to me, I will download one of my back pocket guides. They'll see some videos. They'll see whatever. They can make a decision whether I'm an idiot or I've actually got something that's worthwhile. Either way, I want them to make that decision. I don't want that to be on a phone call. So you get people, when you do it the right way, that know who you are, what you do, and are excited to start the conversation. Now, in the conversation, I'm going to give we'll have more time next week, a real quick overview of a conversational flow that virtually eliminates objections. I hate objections, so I don't get them. That's the thing. How do you overcome objections? Just avoid them. Don't have them. And it's if you want to write this down, DNQC. Data or demonstrate. You give some information. And then people will often give more information, and then more information, and then more information. They think, if I give them enough good information, they're going to make an informed buying decision. No. You want to work together. The golden rule, the more they're involved, the more they invest. When they're involved, they invest. So you give some information. Then you turn that into a narrative, a story. And say, well, I was working with somebody last week that we were doing this and we did this. And what happened is, as we were going through, just like you're having your issues with this, we did that and we delivered these sorts of results. Could you see that working for you? Well, in fact, how about we work on that? If we put that into your business, calculate quick, collaborate. So we've got the D, data, we give them some information, then a narrative, a story. People will remember stories more than information. Yeah. Then quantify. If we put this into your business, how would that work? And Q, the C is confirm. Wow. We're going to be doing this. We're going to save you this much time. You're going to be earning this much extra money, or you're going to have this much less stress if it's a lifestyle situation. Is that a priority of yours? You confirm that they understand that they're going to get this value outcome, and confirm that it's a priority. Now, when you've done that 2 or 3 or 4 times in a conversation, you've given them things and they've confirmed that they want them, it is really hard for them to say, haha, I lied, I don't want to work with you. That's virtually what they have to do for you to get a no. And you're doing that all the way through the conversation. The issue with most people and sales is they wait till the end to try and make a sale. Whereas if you're collaborating together all the way through, you have then formed a partnership and a relationship that they have to break to say no.
Wow.
So for them to say no, they have to walk away from something that they've created with you instead of I am buying something extra. When you turn that around in your head and your process, it is so much harder for them to walk away from you.
Mm.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's really cool. How did you stumble upon this formula?
I hate selling.
Bravo, mate.
I hated the old school way that I was taught. I've sold millions of dollars of franchises, gym memberships. I even invented a little environmental product, a portable personal ashtray, and sold 4 million into 26 countries. I've sold millions of dollars of stuff. But when it came to Steve selling himself, he sucked. He was scared. I hated doing it. Hey, please buy me. I'm good. No? Oh, you don't like me. That's not. It's personal. It's personal.
It is a personal
And
thing.
that's where people have a trouble. I've got to get to the point of selling me. I don't want to sell. I don't want to do it because what if they say no? What if they don't like me? My self-esteem is going to go down. And that's because they're taught that it's the sales pitch at the end. It's the all or nothing. It's the Hail Mary pass in football. It's the all or nothing. This will win the game. But you've got to have them at hello and have them, the buying energy increase that they're so excited to get to talk to you. And you collaborate together and you create the partnership. And then, just as I said to CJ, by the look of it and what you've said and what we've worked on, it looks like we are going to do this together if we put this system into your business or life. Does it make sense? We get started. Mm-hmm. And that's the hard, high pressure close. Does it make sense? We get started because you've told me this will work for you. And if you've done the DNQC, the little stories, the quantify, yes, this is what I want, then it makes it really hard for them to break that relationship. And why did I create all of this for other people? I was selfish. I needed to continue a better way for me to sell me. And when you come along next week and I'll show you the blueprint, the conversion system with the blueprint, the minute I saw how to do that, my life, my world changed. It took the pressure off me selling me. And then that's exploded other people, professionals out there, a new way of not having to say, hey, I'm good, buy me. And that's the dead set truth is I am as insecure as anybody else about selling me. So I have developed tools that are very powerful, that I can make an impact on the people that I'm selling to because they've come to me with a need and I just need to have the best tools possible for them to see and understand what I have will work for them. So that's the dead set honest truth why I did it.
So Steve, it sounds like you've taken the classic Glengarry Glen Ross, excuse me, always be closing, the ABCs to always be confirming, always be, conversing, having the conversation saying, does this make sense? And having the dialogue continuing that the story goes on. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, the other C is always be collaborating.
I love it.
It's when you work together. And the thing that when I work with my people, excuse me, and I tell them, your sales conversation is a tennis match. You give some information, bang, you hit the ball over the net. And then you get some feedback as to how it was received, and they hit it back. And then you hit another one over, and then you get them to hit it back. You hit another one over. But if all you do is stand there and hit balls over the net, sooner or later you're going to run out of balls, and the game stops.
Yeah.
And if that's all you do is you just hit the stuff over, and the person on the other side, well, I didn't get a chance to play. So you keep that tennis match approach, that you can constantly get the feedback that they are on the journey with you, instead of running ahead and say, hey, I'm up here. It's like, well, what can I do to always be confirming, not so much closing. I hate the word close a deal.
Yeah.
It's actually open a relationship. It's the start of something, not the end of something.
I love it.
And so when you say, let's close the deal, no, let's open a relationship.
So conversing, collaborating, and then converting and opening a deal, opening a conversation, a relationship. That's wonderful. And speaking of opening, I'm looking forward to opening more conversations next week with you, Steve. Alejandro, do you want to share a bit about that?
Yes. So next week is going to be for 1 hour each day from Monday to Friday. We are going to be bringing you with the work of the four of us. We're going to be talking about lead generation mastery, how to be opening a conversation and not closing a deal. Because really that's exactly what we want. We want people that is working with us really to succeed in everything that they are doing and understanding how to do it better. So I love that, Steve, when you're saying this is a tennis play match, but you need to understand what is happening in the other side all the time. So thank you, Steve, for being with us. Everybody that is listening to us, if you want to connect next week, this is the QR code. The only thing that you need to do is take your cell phone, take a photo of that, and you can go directly to our page to connect with us. It's going to be $47. It's very cheap to having the four of us for the whole week. And the idea behind charging is not really to become millionaires because of that, but it's really to have you can have some skin of the game, starting to understand what is going to happen. So I love having you here with us today, Steve, and I am looking forward for next week. Next week is going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to meet all of you that are listening to us. Just go to the QR code and look for the page and connect with us.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. It was great to be here. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to learning from you guys as well. I've only been running my own businesses for 40 years, but every day I turn up to listen with you guys and with other people, I learn. So I'll be bringing my notepad and pen to generate more leads. Leads and sales are the lifeblood of any business, and anybody that's listening right now, look, just get that damn QR code, register, and make sure you turn up, because hey, it's going to be midnight my time, and I'm going to come along and party with you guys.
Okay. Perfect. So to everyone, this show can be also heard on the Spanglish World Radio Network. Let's check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, friends.